In 2026, walk into any Costco, Lowe's, or Best Buy, and the refrigerator aisle will feel more like a Vegas showroom than an appliance section. Everything is chrome, glossy, enormous, and illuminated brightly enough to guide aircraft. Touch screens light up like billboards. LED shelves pulsate with futuristic energy. Smart cooling symbols offer optimum airflow, AI food management, humidity control, dual zone temperature mapping, and 30 more features that you'll forget about within 48 hours. Salespeople hover around, describing compressors with the same enthusiasm that is typically reserved for luxury sports cars. Families congregate around refrigerators as if they were selecting the next addition to their family, comparing drawer mechanics and ice machine forms with scientific precision. But something is missing in this sea of spectacle: long-term dependability. Refrigerators in 2026 are more technologically advanced than ever, but they fail more frequently, break faster, and cost more to repair than at any time in the previous 2 decades. Even expensive models are not exempt. Some brands are aware of their faults, yet continue to offer the same defective designs, secretly expecting that customers would not notice until the warranty expires. This is why today's guide exists. Beneath all the chrome and smart features is a harsh reality. Not all refrigerators are made equal. And if you're planning to spend $1,000 to $3,000 on a refrigerator this year, knowing which brands to avoid could save you hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars in repairs. Refrigerators used to be tanks, heavy, basic, and designed to last 15 to 20 years, with only the occasional coil cleaning. But what about refrigerators in 2026? They are lighter, thinner, more electrical, sensor-dependent, and significantly more brittle. Manufacturers have pushed designs to be sleeker and more efficient, which sounds fantastic until you realize that efficiency frequently means cheaper compressors, thinner evaporator coils, weaker insulation, and a greater reliance on complex electronics that don't age well. Sealed systems, once the heart of reliability, are failing at rates not seen since the early 2000s. Ice makers, which were previously simple mechanical improvements, have now become the most common failure point across nearly all brands. The issue is twofold. First, cost cutting. Brands employ internal components that appear identical on the outside but are less durable on the inside, particularly in versions designed for big box stores. Second, over-engineering. Refrigerators today feature sensors that monitor sensors, logic boards that interpret other boards, and software that attempts to estimate cooling requirements. When one component fails, the entire system might collapse, leaving you with heated milk, thawed meat, and a repair bill that rivals the cost of a new machine. The flashy features entice you in, yet many new refrigerators operate like prototypes covered in stainless steel. And that is why understanding the ranking ahead is critical. Let's begin at the bottom. The brands that frequently fail, cost a fortune to repair, and leave specialists scratching their heads. 12. Samsung, the ice maker disaster. Samsung is known for producing high-quality gadgets and appliances, yet their refrigerators have a long-standing negative reputation. Samsung has been at the top of technician complaint lists for more over a decade, and nothing has changed in 2026. The issues are well known: ice makers that freeze into blocks, sealed systems that fail, compressors that struggle after 3 years, water leaks, fan icing, and repair prices so high that it's sometimes cheaper to replace the entire fridge. Even newly improved models experience the same issues. Every year, technicians say, Samsung refrigerators are great for 2 years. Then, they become your worst nightmare. To make matters worse, many Samsung devices sold at Costco are simpler models with lower-cost internal components to meet price criteria, so the gleaming facade conceals an even weaker computer. Beautiful? Yes. Reliable? Not even close. 11. LG, the linear compressor gamble. You do not want to play. LG shines in the television industry. In fridges, they've been dealing with compressor troubles for years. Their linear compressor was advertised as breakthrough technology, but it ended up being one of the decade's biggest appliance flops. Millions of units were affected, lawsuits were filed, and families awoke to find heated milk and damaged goods. While LG says that the design has been changed, technician surveys from 2025 to 2026 continue to rank LG as one of the highest risk brands for sealed system failures. And sealed system failures are not minor repairs. They are $800 to $1,200 tragedies. Costco sells a lot of LG refrigerators because they look luxury and modern, but the slick InstaView doors conceal compressors and sensors that don't always work. If you're lucky, your LG refrigerator will function smoothly for years. If you're not careful, you'll make one of the most costly culinary mistakes of your life. 10. Whirlpool. The expensive, safe choice that isn't safe anymore. Whirlpool used to be considered the quintessential American safe bet. For decades, consumers bought Whirlpool without thinking. It was the dependable middle ground. However, Whirlpool refrigerators in 2026 have fallen into an odd position. They are too pricey to be considered cheap, yet they are also too unreliable to warrant premium pricing. Technicians are frequently reporting control board failures, fan issues, irregular cooling, and defrost faults. Part of the problem is quiet cost cutting. Models sold in big box stores, such as Costco, frequently employ narrower coils, less expensive connectors, and simplified circuits. Whirlpool appears to be a solid brand. However, today's models lack the internal durability they always had. It's not the worst brand on this list, but it's certainly one of the most frustrating, especially for buyers who continue to believe they're purchasing a 2004 Whirlpool when they're actually purchasing a 2026 Whirlpool Lite. 9. Frigidaire budget models, the two-faced brand. Frigidaire's high-end models are surprisingly durable. However, their affordable models, which are packed in Costco aisles and big box stores, tell an entirely different story. These less expensive machines have weak evaporators, noisy fans, inadequate insulation, uneven cooling, premature ice formation, and dampers that become stuck, transforming freezers into Arctic blizzards. Worse, failures occur slowly. 1 week your lettuce freezes, the next your cheese degrades, and over the course of a few months, the entire cooling system drifts until the compressor fails. Frigidaire is the ultimate refrigerator gamble. Buy the correct model and you're happy. Buy the wrong one and you're Googling, why is my fridge making a clicking noise every 10 seconds at 2 a.m.? That is why the brand is solidly ranked 9th. These brands do not fail catastrophically like Samsung or LG. Rather, they fail gently, gradually, and subtly. They may appear affordable and provide a good initial impression, but with time, the deal becomes less appealing. 8. Haier. The quiet budget. Brand with loud, expensive problems. Haier has a massive global presence and has been aggressively expanding in the United States. Their refrigerators appear modern, sleek, and energy efficient on paper. But technicians frequently describe Haier as a prototype disguised as a finished fridge. Compressors overheat, components wear quickly, seals loosen prematurely, plastic shelves break, and new parts are difficult or slow to get. Haier appeals to buyers seeking luxury looks without premium pricing, but the hidden cost is a limited lifespan and inconsistent performance once the warranty expires. Reliable enough for light use? Maybe. Are you prepared for full-blown abuse in the American household? Not yet. 7. Insignia/low-end Hisense, the store brand trap. Insignia, Best Buy's house brand, and low-end Hisense models follow the same deadly formula: enticing pricing, excellent styling, and feature lists that rival Samsung and LG at a fraction of the price. However, they are manufactured with lower-cost compressors, inadequate insulation, poor seals, and a limited airflow design. Temperature constancy is an ongoing battle. Doors don't always seal tightly. Replacement parts can be more expensive than the equipment itself. After the warranty period, these machines become noisy and unreliable, despite working well for the first year. These are not deals. They are technician practice units. That is why the entire category is ranked 7th. 6. Beko, almost good, but not there. Yet. Beko is immensely popular abroad and is gaining popularity in the United States. Their designs are modern, efficient, and eco-friendly. However, technician reports reveal a different story. Compressors not designed for heavy American use, cooling systems that require ideal airflow conditions, plastic parts that wear out quickly, and spare parts that frequently take weeks to arrive. Beko is a potentially amazing brand, but in 2026, it still feels like an unfinished experiment. Buyers who chose Beko typically enjoy the first year, but later regret their decision. 5. GE Mid-Range is a brilliant brand, except when it isn't. GE is split down the middle. What about their premium cafe and GE profile refrigerators? Fantastic. Their mid-range and cheap models, which are primarily sold at Costco and Home Depot, present a different narrative. These refrigerators have unreliable evaporators, sensors that misread temperatures, control boards that fail prematurely, and fans that buzz or seize. They're not poor enough to be at the bottom of this list, but they're also not reliable enough to be trusted blindly. The difficulty is that the term GE still sounds premium, leading many customers to believe they are getting high-end engineering at a reduced price. In truth, customers are receiving stripped-down versions with simplified components. GE mid-range refrigerators are hardly failures, but they are not the dependable classics that purchasers want. After traveling through the region of catastrophic failures, quiet breakdowns, and mid-tier inconsistencies, we've finally arrived at the top of the list, the refrigerator brands that act as they should. These aren't flawless, but they provide the stability, engineering, and long-term reliability that most modern refrigerators lack. If you buy from this tier, you're not taking a chance. You're purchasing peace of mind. 4. Frigidaire Gallery, the redemption line. Previously, we analyzed Frigidaire's low-cost models, and they deserved every bit of criticism. However, the Gallery series is an entirely different species. These higher-end Frigidaire units are what the company should be renowned for: constant temperature management, stronger compressors, improved insulation, and simplified electronics that do not fail at the first sight of humidity. Airflow is smoother, defrost systems are more dependable, and the French door designs are more purposeful than spectacular. Technicians privately concede that Frigidaire's Gallery line outperforms most customers' expectations, particularly in light of Samsung and LG's high-profile failures. Frigidaire Gallery won't win beauty contests, but it gets respect by accomplishing the one thing a refrigerator must do: cool food uniformly and consistently over time. That alone gets it the number 4 position. 3. Bosch, the quiet overachiever. Bosch rarely receives attention in big box stores because they refuse to play the glitzy marketing game. There is no AI cooling wizardry. There is no huge tablet embedded inside the door. There's no rainbow LED lights. Bosch refrigerators are the polar opposite of trendy, and that's their strength. They focus on engineering rather than gimmicks. Technicians laud about Bosch's airtight door seals, whisper-quiet compressors, dependable airflow systems, and little reliance on delicate electronic sensors. These refrigerators have the feel of European appliances. They are reliable, efficient, and stylishly simple. They don't strive to impress you. They simply work. Bosch does not dominate warehouses, since its units are more expensive and have less wow features, but those who purchase them report some of the lowest long-term failure rates. The only reason Bosch is not number 1 is that their capacity options are restricted and availability varies by location. However, if reliability is the most important factor, Bosch deserves to be ranked in the top 3. 2. KitchenAid, the underrated American workhorse. When asked, what fridge should I buy? Technicians nod in approval at KitchenAid. KitchenAid, which is owned by the same parent company as Whirlpool, may appear to be comparable at first glance. But internally, they're designed with stronger compressors, thicker insulation, more robust shelves, higher quality gaskets, and simplified control systems that don't fail following software updates. KitchenAid refrigerators aren't trying to recreate the wheel. They're attempting to create a wheel that doesn't fall off. Their cooling is steady, breakdowns are few, and replacement components are inexpensive. Yes, their ice makers aren't the best, and extremely hot kitchens may put them to the test. But when compared to LG's compressor chaos or Samsung's sealed system failures, KitchenAid feels like a welcome return to how refrigerators were once built: strong, stable, and serviceable. They're number 2 because they provide exactly what customers want: dependability without drama. 1. GE Cafe/GE Premium, the gold standard of 2026. Here it is, the top refrigerator lineup of 2026. Make no mistake, not all GE refrigerators are worthy of praise. We've already identified weaknesses in their mid-range portfolio. But GE Cafe and GE Premium are on a completely different level. These machines are the closest thing America has to a modern refrigerator that functions similarly to the tank-like appliances of the past. GE Cafe models provide excellent compressor performance, superb airflow, rock-solid temperature stability, sturdy evaporators, quieter and more reliable fans, and long-lasting internal components that do not deteriorate after 2 years. Their control boards are better built, their insulation is more durable, and replacement components are readily available and user-friendly. Technicians consistently recommend purchasing a GE Cafe refrigerator for reliable performance. Customer satisfaction is better. Failure rates are drastically lower, and maintenance costs are significantly cheaper than other premium brands. GE Cafe does not rely on gimmicks. Its engineering speaks for itself. That makes GE Cafe and GE Premium the top refrigerator options for 2026. Before you buy a refrigerator in 2026, you should be aware of one final fact. Modern refrigerators are not manufactured in the same way as tanks from the 1990s. They're lighter, smaller, crammed with electronics, and built with significantly more possible failure spots. But you still have control, and following these guidelines will save you headaches, food waste, and costly repairs. Rule 1. Avoid Samsung and LG sealed system versions. Their failure rates are simply too high, repair costs are prohibitively expensive, and long-term reliability is unclear. Gorgeous patterns do not keep food cold. Rule number 2. Avoid Whirlpool's mid-range and big box store models. Whirlpool still has areas of excellence, but the models offered at Costco, Lowe's, and Home Depot are sometimes stripped-down copies that lack the long-lasting components of their dealer-sold counterparts. Rule number 3. Never trust store brands or suspiciously low-cost stainless steel models. If a fridge looks high-end, yet costs strangely little, you're not getting a bargain, you're getting a compromise. Rule number 4. Select basic controls over AI features. The more software a refrigerator contains, the more chances it will fail. Smart features are enjoyable until the control board fails and your $2,000 refrigerator forgets how to function. Rule number 5 is to prioritize compressor dependability above all else. The compressor is the refrigerator. A superb ice maker or a beautiful door is meaningless if the sealed system fails. Rule number 6. Purchase from retailers who offer excellent warranties. Costco is wonderful for this reason, despite offering riskier models. Their 2-year guarantee can literally save you from Samsung and LG calamities. Rule number 7. Always look up exact model numbers. Brand reputation no longer ensures dependability. Individual models differ greatly. Rule 8. Avoid exclusive big box store variants. These units frequently conceal cost-cutting components beneath appealing exteriors. In 2026, buying a refrigerator will be about selecting the fewest failure spots rather than the fanciest amenities. Here's the truth that Costco, Walmart, and the appliance brands don't want broadcasted. Modern refrigerators are more fragile, more engineered for aesthetics, and more dependent on electronics than ever before. They are not built like the tanks of the past, and many brands know their failures are happening long before consumers discover them. That's why this ranking matters. It cuts through the marketing fog and exposes what really separates a dependable refrigerator from a shiny kitchen nightmare. In 2026, your refrigerator should do exactly one job: keep food cold, consistently, for years. It doesn't need Wi-Fi. It doesn't need a tablet on the door. It doesn't need an AI that analyzes humidity. Those features distract from the engineering that matters, and too often hide the cut corners beneath the surface. If you follow the advice in this ranking, avoiding the danger brands, choosing from the top performers, and prioritizing reliability over aesthetics, you can sidestep a mistake that thousands of families make every year. A refrigerator is not just another appliance. It's the heart of your kitchen. When it fails, you feel it immediately. So if this breakdown saved you from a $2,000 mistake, if it helped you see past the chrome, the screens, and the hype, if it helped you choose a refrigerator that won't collapse 2 years from now, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Because here at Frugal Choice, we don't chase trends. We expose them. Your wallet deserves the truth. And today, you got it. Let us know what you think down below in the comments.